In today's You Ask, I Answer, Josh asks, I work at a company that doesn't sell direct to consumers. Instead, we sell to distributors who sell to big box stores who sell to the customer. How do I set up goals in Google Analytics? This is a terrific question. It's a challenging one. It's very similar, actually, to what marketers who work at mega corporations have to do with their goals and goal setting, because individual business units are effectively different companies. And so the corporate marketing team has to try and quantify what all these totally different businesses and stuff do. Examples would be like a company like General Electric. The light bulb division is totally different from the jet engine division, but they have to figure out how their marketing is driving impact. I remember a few years ago working on a battery company where the battery company had no control over how retailers sold their product. They sell their products in either online or in a big box store, and the big box store might put that company's product on the bottom of the shelf in the back of the store, and no matter how good their marketing was, they had no control over the placement. So this is a good question. It's a tough question. The first question to ask is, what are you measured on? What is your marketing team measured on? What outcomes are you being asked to deliver, like brand awareness or reach, store assists, or product interests? And setting up meaningful goals that tie back to those things that you can measure in Google Analytics. So, for example, if you're measured on brand awareness, branded organic search traffic is going to be really important, and you can either use Google Search Console data for that, or if you want to measure it within Google Analytics as an actual goal, figure out which pages rank for your branded search terms, and then measure the traffic to those pages and set goals for traffic to those pages. That's a good way of doing that. If you don't rank for your brand name, that's a completely different problem. That's an SEO problem, but that's how you would measure that branded organic search. Probably, if you're have a good SEO strategy, it's going to be your homepage, because that's where the branded organic search traffic should be going for your company name. For products or services, you'd want to measure the branded traffic, the organic search traffic to those product or service pages. So if you're GE light bulbs, you measure the traffic to the GE light bulb page that ranks number 1 for GE light bulbs. If you're measured on organic reach, on audience reach, how many people are you getting to? Net new users to your website would be a valid goal, because the more people who are visiting your digital property, the more reach you have. You could also measure net new visitors from different channels like email and social media, things like that, and assign that as a valid goal in Google Analytics. If you're measured on store assists, which means that your digital properties are helping get customers to retail stores to buy your stuff, measure traffic and measure and set goals for traffic to pages like a store locator page or where to buy pages, because those obviously are diverting people outwards. If you have links to retailers on those pages, you can actually use Google Tag Manager to set a goal for outbound clicks off of specific links, and say, I want every link click that goes to Amazon.com off of our whatever page, that we want that as a goal. We want to be funneling people to Amazon to go buy something. If you're measured on product interest, meaning how interested are people in your products, you could measure on traffic to product information pages, product branded searches, like I mentioned before, or coupon redemption. If your coupon redemption system is tied into Google Analytics via the Google Analytics API, and you issue your coupons digitally, like there's a little coupon generator on your website, that would be a great way to measure that product interest and then tie it to a Google Analytics goal. The much harder part of goal setting in B2B2C is assigning a dollar value, an economic value to those goals. Let me start by saying this as a warning. No matter what you do, no goal you set is going to be exact. Any goal you set is going to be estimated and directional, because there is no direct, concrete way to assign transactional data from the retailer to purchases directly to your digital marketing and digital properties, because you are not selling to that customer. You are selling to your customer's customer. And so everything you provide is going to be an estimate. It's going to be directional. It may be somewhat accurate, but it is not the truth, and you certainly should not use it for things like economic forecasting. What you'll need to do in order to do this step is create a data mart, which is just a giant spreadsheet or a giant flat database of all of your customer data, all of your sales data, all of your marketing data, everything you've got in one place. So ads and ad performance, all the Google Analytics data, social data, email, sales data from VARs, purchase data from retailers, coupon data, warranty data, customer service data, you name it. Put it all in one big old table. Assemble this by time. If you can get day level data, great. That would be the best case scenario. Week level's fine. Try to avoid monthly, quarterly, or annual data because it's not. You can't run enough of a statistical correlation on that. And what you're going to do is run a statistical analysis to determine which combination of metrics lead to total sales. Now, if you're not a data scientist, I recommend IBM Watson Analytics for this task. There's a feature called predictive modeling. It's just driver analysis that helps you understand, like, hey, this combination of things leads to this outcome. And if you have that sales data, you can say what combination of things leads to sales. Once you know what combination of metrics have the greatest statistical relevance to sales, figure out whether those winning metrics are metrics that you measure in Google Analytics. If they are, great. Distribute your sales data across those metrics by conversion ratios. For example, if you have $1 million in revenue and 100 million email clicks, you would assign an email click the value of $1, right? A penny. Math. If you have $1 million and you have 1 million visitors to your website and you're measured on website traffic, you assign each visitor the value of $1 as a goal. Remember, this is directional. This is not for forecasting purposes. If you end up without a statistically significant or relevant set of metrics, then what you'll want to do is assign an arbitrary small value to each of your goals in Google Analytics and then slap a big 6-inch high bright red flashing warning on every report and every dashboard that you create that says that the goal is arbitrary and it's used only for directional tracking. It is not for forecasting. It is not tied directly to revenue. You want to be very clear about that in all your reporting. The last thing I recommend is that you retune your goals and goal values every quarter because changing economic conditions affect B2B2C measurement more. Consumer habits and spending preferences change a lot. The economy changes a lot, and because you don't have direct control over what your retailers sell, how they sell your product, you will need to modify to retune those goals frequently. Quarterly is probably best. Also, have a set number of modifiers based on your sales volume for your goals that accounts for things like seasonality, particularly if you are selling to the end consumer or the retailer selling to the end consumer, because in no reality should Q3 goals, right, and goal values be identical to the values for Q4. This just makes absolutely no sense for anything sold directly to the consumer. So make sure you retune your goals and you have those modifiers, and use predictive analytics, use time series forecasting to forecast your sales numbers, and use that to tune your Google Analytics goal numbers. Quick disclosure, I'm an IBM champion, which means that I receive non-financial incentives from IBM, such as shirts, in exchange for recommending their appropriate uses of their products and services. Just FTC disclosure. So, great question, Josh. I think it's an important question, and it's a very difficult question to answer. Try this methodology and see if it works for you. If you want some help with it, feel free to contact me through my company. As always, thank you for watching. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel and the newsletter, and I'll talk to you soon. Take care. If you want help with your company's data and analytics, visit braintrustinsights.com today and let us know how we can help you.